As the king's illegitimate daughter, the first thing that awaited me upon entering the royal palace was a single command.
Marry the vampire in my daughter's place. That is your only worth.
To those icy words from the beautiful queen, I was bundled into a carriage and sent off to the land of vampires to face an unknown fate. She was once the king's maid, but one night of his royal mistake got her thrown in this dungeon to break. The night before my 10th birthday, vault door shrieked open as it gave way. 2 guards marched in to drag my mother's corpse away. I stood there paralyzed, rooted to my feet, watching them shove her in a filthy sack, like a piece of spoiled meat.
Just my luck, stuck cleaning up this gruesome sight.
I lunged forward, clawing at the sack, fighting to pull my mother back.
Get loft, or we'll bury you right by her side.
Watch it. That's our precious princess.
The big one spat right in my face, cursed my mother in this rotting place, twisting the king's dirty desires into her crimes.
Princess? Pah, just a slut's brat.
Irina rushed to hold me near, with her palms pressed against my ears.
Lenore, don't listen.
She tried to comfort me, but her voice shook with fear. My mother named me Lenore. It means light. But in this dungeon, there was only endless night. The door slammed shut as they left, taking the last sliver of light one at last. On the day of my 16th birthday, the door swung open once more to sway, echoing like death seeking prey. Irina, or me, who would be the one to fade away? An official walked in, a gold-trimmed cloak around his neck, covering his nose. He looked at my skeletal body in disrespect. With my golden hair, a royal mark he couldn't reject.
This is the one.
He sighed, voice cold and flat.
A maid's child, but the king's blood flows through even a rat.
Irina covered me behind, with her eyes burning like a flame.
What will you do to her? I won't let you take her in the king's name!
But how could a starving woman win
Right.
against a giant in this violent game? The official ripped me from Irina's shadow, dragging me out of the vault. Sun hit me like a blow, so blindingly bright that my eyes snapped shut. They shoved me into a carriage, rattling and swaying, till a great castle loomed into sight. Inside those walls, 2 maids pinned me down in a tub, scrubbed my skin raw to wash away the years of filth, forced me into a heavy, layered bride's dress of red lace. Cleaned and dressed, I was led to a palace that shimmered with gold. A woman sat in the center, regal, elegant, and cold. I tilted my head, desperate to see the queen's face, but I could only see the tips of her shoes in that hollow place. She rose from her throne and stepped toward me.
You will take my daughter's place. To fulfill the blood covenant, you will be the vampire sacrifice.
Her blood-red nails scraped across my cheek, slithering like a snake.
Lenore, this is the only reason you are allowed to wake.
I knew I had only the right to obey, but a greedy spark flared in my chest.
May I ask for one request?
The queen froze, stunned that a sacrifice dared to petition, but with a flicker of pity for a life so close to its end, she looked down from her heights and said,
What request?
A maid to accompany a sacrifice to the grave was not a greedy thing to crave.
I want Irina. That is all.
The queen sneered, and her permission she gave. The wedding crow carriage travelled for a month, heading north. The air grew colder with every mile, until a skin of frost coated the wooden berth. As we crossed the boundary into the shadows, the human guards fled like prey. Only our carriage remained, abandoned and lonely before the iron bridge, to the ancestors' keep. No one came to greet us, not until the blood-red moon began to creep. Bats circled above, and a sudden gale sent the carriage into a violent sway. A pale hand with needle-sharp nails ripped back the curtain, and a man appeared like a phantom under the crimson moon. He was towering, draped in a velvet cloak of midnight black. His violet eyes swept over the interior, finally locking onto Irina and me.
Which of you is my bride?
I am your bride.
He stared at me. A stunted, thin girl, smaller than any at my age, fell silent. Neither Irina nor I dared to breathe, terrified of the ancestors' might. The silence between us grew heavy.
A dying bud, sent to my rotting palace in haste. Does the king wish for his entire world to be laid to waste? Since your king mocks our pact by sending a scrawny lamb, I shall break the treaty and show him the cruelty of my kind.
He turned and hoisted me up by my collar like a stray cat.
Stunted and shriveled, are you truly a princess of blood?
I stuffed the remaining apple into my mouth and mumbled through the crumbs.
I am. But before you drain me dry, could you let me finish my meal?
Silas froze for a moment. Then I heard a low, dark laugh broke from his chest.
Take her to the tower. Give her some decent human food before she fades.
The maids crowded around me, chirping like curious birds.
So tiny, like a twig that would snap in an instant.
They wondered how a human this frail could survive a single night by his side, poked my cheeks and pinched my arms.
Why aren't you afraid?
Because you don't look scary at all.
My bride's stomach is growling deep in her chest. Play with her any longer, you'll play with her death.
As if to agree, my stomach let out a loud, hollow moan. The table of polished bone was buried under silver plates. Each radiated an aroma that made my head spin. I abandoned all grace, feasting with a desperate greed. Knowing once I was full, it was my blood they'd need to bleed.